Well, obviously very pleased with winning the first game of the season. Winning is certainly somewhat of a cure-all for a lot of things, and it was much needed in this program after a long year of going through a lot of ups and downs last season, and the off season that we had, we really tested our guys through a lot of adverse situations. And honestly, I think it was a great testament to 120, 130 guys and everybody that really touches the program just buying in and believing and staying the course and being able to just understand that, a 2-8 season doesn't mean that it needs to stay there. And we did some things this offseason that really tried to train a mentality that was relentless, that was extremely tough, that was extremely disciplined, and we had guys that held each other accountable and really tried to foster a lot of responsibility, and I think that's what we saw tonight. By any means, it wasn't perfect. I think there's actually a lot of things that we can still get better at, and that's the great thing about being able to win your first game, and then hopefully showing a lot of improvement from week 1 to week 2. But have a lot of respect for Winston-Salem. They obviously have had our number, majority of the times that we've played them, and we did not take them lightly. I knew that our guys were ready to go, though, yesterday in walkthrough. There was a great, calm, composed confidence about them, and I hadn't felt that in a long time out of our team, and they were really ready and focused, and they carried that into today. All of our pre-game stuff today, they were locked in, and I knew that it wouldn't come down to a lack of commitment or a lack of effort on our part. We still need to execute more in some places, but that's okay. We've got a whole another 9 days before we play again, and so I am extremely proud of our team and our program, and I couldn't be more thrilled to open the 2015 season the way we did tonight.
So in the second half, when there were a couple instances in which Salem State looked like had to come up punt, and a couple instances where it looked like they might be able to jump back in, and then you guys were able to get the sacks that kind of changed things around. It almost sounded like that didn't really surprise you, I guess, based on what you've seen from them.
Yeah, I would say that we train adversity, and we try to put our team in situations where we're going to put them in uncomfortable situations, and we've done it all since our off-season program in January, and we've done it all the way through fall camp. Our team is used to that, and so it's kind of a little bit of a natural place to be in. And what we talk about is, hey, when adversity strikes, we call it Murphy. We refer to Murphy's Law. If anything can go wrong, it will go wrong, and just expect it. And what we do is we say that Murphy is somebody that we have to absolutely battle and beat away, because he comes in different forms. And it's a kind of a fun little thing that our team talks about, but it's very true. The game of football is going to give you a lot of adversity, and it's going to come in a lot of different forms. And so we try to train that mentality, and I think it's a great example of how our guys have responded to that in practice, in the off season, and now tonight.
How often do they talk about Murphy, and what do they say?
He comes about every single day. He visits every single day.
Yeah. Like an example of
well, what we'll do is in the middle of practice, I'll blow the whistle, and we'll line up on the sidelines and just start running gassers, and they don't know what's coming, and they're dead tired. They've been hitting each other, and we'll run sprints, and then all of a sudden, boom! I'll blow the whistle. We'll get right back on the line, and we'll play football again. And so they got to do it when they're tired, and that's one example I can give you. But there's many things. What we do is just try to keep them off beat and never let them get comfortable. And I think, you see that tonight, because that stuff just didn't faze them. So.
Coach, the other day, talking with you, talked about getting back to that spirit of the tradition, the winning tradition here at Pembroke. What does a win like this do for your program against, Winston-Salem State?
Sure.
Given the history too.
Yeah, we were 1-4 against them coming into tonight. They're always a top 25 program, it seems like, and they played for a national championship a couple years ago, and we've had some battles with them, and I think it's a special game for us. Not only that it's the first game, but we recruit against them. It's a situation where we battle for players with them. A lot of our guys know their guys. so it's a great little rivalry that's kind of sparked, and so it means a lot because the amount of respect that we have for them. They've been good, and they are, a team that we can measure ourselves against to say, hey, that's a team that we beat that really had some players, and they've got players every year. I mean, they're big, they're strong, they're physical, they're athletic, and I would attribute just playing against them. It's a great contest every time we line up, and I know sometimes there's awkward scores, but our guys are always up for it, and they know the importance of that game.
Given that the context of this win is different than the one you guys had against them 2 years ago, like what's the feeling like after this one versus that one? Is there a different emotion for you or the team?
I think 2 years ago was a nationally televised game, so I think there's a lot of hype to that. But winning never gets old, I can tell you that. And I'm just excited tonight as I was 2 years ago. But everybody's excited that it was on TV, and I think that might have been something to that. But they were ranked coming in today, and they were number 20 in the AFCA and number 24 in the D2 poll, and we're just going to keep playing football to our standard. And we have a saying, it's how we play. It's not who we play. And so, honestly, we talked very little about Winston-Salem State working up to this first game. And we didn't know what they were going to do. We didn't know what circumstances we'd face. We just know how we want to play. And we know the things that we want to do from a fundamental standpoint and just a mentality standpoint. And we're going to just stay the course on what we believe in.
How do you feel like O'Brien played in his first start?
I think he was solid. I think with Pat, he's a very emotional quarterback, and he loves the game. He's competitive, and he's energetic, and I think he needed a couple series just to settle down a little bit. And it was a very good dialogue during the game with him. He was very composed. I could talk to him, and he wasn't too up or down, and he was very steady tonight. And so, he hadn't played real live football against another opponent in quite some time, actually. And so I think he just needed to get some real live reps against another team tonight to try to get that under his belt. And I think he'll make a huge improvement from here on out. So I'm really excited about the season with him.
How do you think the team responded after going down 7-0 early?
Great. We ended up winning. It was great. Nothing on the sideline indicated that there was anybody that didn't believe. Part of the deal is, I would rather be on defense first and try to just let them do what they do so we can figure them out. And then I'd like to put that on our shoulders defensively because, I'm a defensive coach. And so we did that. And I knew right away in the first series when they took it down, I knew that we could stop them because I got a beat on the quarterback and our guys knew how to defend it. And so we came to the sideline and, talked about a few things and, our guys just played lights out after that, and I think they continue to believe and they bought into Code Black tonight.
And Coach, going off that, it seemed like you guys really picked up momentum after that early interception.
Mm-hmm.
Then on, constant movement in the backfield, getting back there. Being a defensive-minded guy, what do you think about your performance on that side of the ball after that?
Good. I thought defensively, honestly, there's a lot of questions still that I have, but I thought our D-line actually surprised me. They put a lot of pressure. They got in the backfield quite a bit. It was great to see that. And we came up with some big sacks at some times and some TFLs. And when you have a defensive line that can handle the run and the pass, it makes it really a lot easier for the back seven. And I thought our guys up front did a great job tonight.
And I'm sure guys like Keck help out a lot with that.
Absolutely. He's a veteran, and he knows what it should look like, and he's one of our captains this year, and so I think he's got a great leadership role to be able to communicate what it's supposed to look like to everybody else.
Coach, talk about Garrett Barnett. I mean, he had a coming out party.
Yeah. Garrett Barnett, redshirt freshman, linebacker, a kid that just works extremely hard, and he's a learner. He's a student of the game, and he was really hungry to play in this game tonight, and he just went out there like he does every day in practice and tries to get better. And I think he really stepped up as a young guy. That is extremely exciting. To think that he has 4 years in front of him here, that's really fun for me, because I coach linebackers.
The other freshman, Ben Utter, he gave you said 47-2 average.
Oh, no doubt.
Amazing.
Yeah, Ben.
Outstanding for you.
Yep. And we actually didn't name him the starting punter up until about 3 days ago. And so he really responded to that, and he's got a very strong leg, obviously. We wanted to work some things mechanically with him down the stretch here, and tonight I think he really showed up very well.
Hey, Coach, real quick about that Murphy concept. Is that something that you started this year as a result of last year? Has it always been
No,
something that-
we talked about it when I kind of first took over as head coach, and we had that in the program. Just Murphy was just too strong last year. He just got us more times than not last year. So, so we just had to kind of, retrain it and get it back, to where our guys really understood what it's supposed to look like. So 1 year of maturity, 1 year of development, a year of recruiting class coming in, a lot of difference it made, and it's a great feeling around UNCP football right now.